everybody. Welcome back to the middle of nowhere and also to my reading nook. As you can see here, I have my co-host, Coco, sitting with me. This is my third attempt making this video. This is my why it's okay to embrace the DNF video. It's kind of one that I have planned for a series of helpful reading tips, something or other. I don't know. I'm not good at creating the names. I am really good when I'm thinking of video ideas of coming up with the names, and I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. Do I write it down? No, I don't. And then I will try to remember it while I'm sitting here recording the video. But anyway, I decided to change up the scenery, change where we're doing it. One, so you can get Coco in the video, as well as see some different types of books. Before we get to the bulk of the video, we're going to do the YouTube Yabber Jabber, which is please like, subscribe, and comment to the video. Share it with your friends. Let me know if anything I say does help or if it makes sense. If you disagree, that's okay. I'm not going to get in an argument with you. We're not going to try to do anything too crazy with it. It's just my views on DNFing books and so on and so forth. So without much more rambling from me, which I'll do plenty of that here in a minute, we are going to get to the DNFing of books. I know it probably strikes fear into a lot of authors' minds and hearts when they hear that their book was DNF'd. I lost my co-host. But I'm here to say that it's okay. And hopefully by the end of it, you will feel a little bit. Here's my other co-host. You're in the way. Now that giant distraction's out of the way, my co-host is back. But hopefully this can explain why I think it's okay to DNF a book. One is time. When a reader picks up a book, or when I pick up a book, I am dedicating a lot of time to read that book. It might not seem like a lot of time to some of you, but it is time where I could be doing something else. Time with family, time reading a different book, whatever may have you. And so sometimes I just run out of time with a book and decide to pick something else up, and that's okay. Like, it ends up being a DNF, even though I didn't plan on it being a DNF, just because of the time and how I'm able to read. Because I read several books at one time, which is I've always done. I've done it pretty much my whole life. But the downside is sometimes I'll pick one of them up and it captures me more than the other one. And sometimes I don't make it back to that other one. I don't really want to classify it as DNF, but it's more, I pushed it to the side for a very, very long time. And sometimes it's so long that I have to restart it, so it ends up being more of a DNF. So time is a major factor in some of those reads that I do. Mainly because I will plan on reading it, but then just never make it back to it until too much time has passed. The other thing is, I have several bookshelves. This is in my reading nook, mainly because it's just in a convenient place for me to sit and read. Usually I have my chair here, but decided that I wanted to let my co-host kind of make an appearance on this one. And sometimes I enjoy just sitting on the floor. But I have several books. I've read most of them on my shelves, but there are some that I haven't read. And so sometimes I'll be looking at them and I'll just start picking it up and just get distracted by it. The other thing is the type of reader that picks up the books. I am very much a character-driven reader. I love to connect with characters and try to place myself in the shoes of the characters, I guess, and try to guess their ideas and what have you. If I don't connect with the character, odds are that I will kind of slowly push that book to the side because I have no drive to grab that book again. Just because there are so many other books, or I'll get grabbed by one of the others that I'm reading more than that one. It's not saying that those are bad books that don't grab me. It's just sometimes the focus isn't where my preferences lie. which leads me to sometimes it's just the mood that a reader can be in. Mood reading is a real thing, and I believe everybody should kind of embrace the mood reading. Even if it's a fully planned out read, that's kind of the mood or the setting that those readers have. Me, if I'm reading it, but I'm not finding it engaging, even if I do connect with a character, sometimes I need to find a book that engages me more. Usually it's in a different genre or a different style, and so I'll end up putting some of those books to the side while I find one that fits how my brain is accepting of those books. This may or may not be a good idea of how I'm doing this video, but we're trying it out. Overall, the DNFing of books, or the idea of a DNF, leads to me of what reading truly is. Reading isn't for that person, or you're not reading a book for them, you're not reading a book for so-and-so, unless it's for a teacher or in a class, which I will admit I DNF'd pretty much every single one of those that was assigned to me, mainly because I guess I was a rebel and didn't want, you told me to read that book, and even though I love reading, it doesn't mean that I want to read that book. For whatever reason, that tells me that I shouldn't read it. So, and I still kind of get that even when everybody's like, oh, you have to read that one. Say, okay, I'll go look for something else. It's not saying that I don't want to read that book. It's just there's something in my brain when I get told that I have to read it, that it's like, I don't. There's your appearance. Yeah, you make an appearance. I apologize for the zooming in and out on the camera. So no, you can't. All right, I have my different co-host. He's a little bit louder. This is Zeus. But when somebody tells me that I have to read a book, it just triggers something in me that I will plan on reading it later than when they kind of want me to. I just don't. I like choosing my own reads, I guess. And that goes to the point that I read for me. And every reader and every writer truly does the book for themselves. And hopefully they enjoy what they're doing. If you're not enjoying it, then I suggest trying a different way of reading, or a different way of writing, I guess, maybe. But it's a very personal journey. And I truly believe that every book has its reader, whether it's one person or millions of people. That one book is out there for everybody. And so, even though it's scary or it's frustrating when somebody says they DNF a book, even if it's one you've loved or it's one you've written and you want every reader to love it, just remember that not every book is for every person, but it will find its reader. I truly believe that. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time, but the nice thing is reading can last forever, and it's a truly enjoyable thing. And DNFing sometimes helps avoid the dreaded slump, the reading slump, which that will come up in one of my later videos. It was what is a slump, how to avoid it, and things. For those of you who don't know, DNF means dogs need food, or do not fart. No, I'm kidding. It means did not finish. My kids reminded me that I should tell people what DNF actually means. But if you're watching this video, you probably know what it means. But anyway, DNFing is okay because it does help inspire the reads. And sometimes when I DNF a book, it still hangs in my mind. And I end up going back to it and end up enjoying those books. The last reason I'm going to talk about a DNF is probably the one that scares people the most, and that's because I find something that I don't agree with. There's some kind of content, there's something that's said, the way it's written, or something that's just not for me. And so I will DNF a book for that, because one, I'm not going to give it a good review. Two, it's not enjoyable for me. And I truly believe reading should be enjoyable for me. That's how I read. That's why I read, is for the enjoyment factor. What do you, Coco? Why do you DNF a book? Huh? Why? Do you DNF a lot of books? Yeah. But anyway, guys, hopefully this video wasn't as scary or frustrating. I'm not going to name books. I'm not going to say which ones I've DNF'd or which ones I've pushed to the side. I'm always willing to talk about certain books, especially if you've seen that I've read the book or plan to read it. I do know quite a bit about them. So if you ever have a question about a book I've read or a book that I'm soon to read, or if you've written the book and have questions about how I perceive certain things, I'm always open to talk about the books. I'm not a person that uses a lot of words, I guess. So my reviews are typically kind of short, just highlight some major points. But if you have some major questions or really want to get into a discussion, I am always open for it, even if it's a DM or calling me out on the Discord or even in the comments down below. I will happily discuss any and all books. I truly enjoy all the books I read, and I am thankful for the authors who write them. I'm thankful for the readers who suggest them to me and recommend books to me. Just don't tell me I have to read it, because that tends to push it back farther in the pile. But I will get to all those books eventually. Anyway, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. As always, happy reading and stay great. Say bye, Coco.